So today we are checking in. I'm giving y'all an update. I'm 4 weeks out. However, before we dive into that, which is super exciting, I got an email from Texas A&M, and I have not checked what it says, but I have a feeling that it is about my PhD application. So I applied to get my PhD in nutrition at Texas A&M starting this August 2022. That would be wild. That I did not think that I would be doing this. Okay, let's just go ahead and see what it says. So I'm gonna open up my email. Should I open up my email or should I open up the actual application status? I have it saved on my home screen right here, a link to it. So I'm gonna go to my application and I'm signing in right now. I would show you all my screen, but it has my credentials. Okay, so here is my like portal. Is it gonna autofocus? I don't know. Does it autofocus? So this is my portal to my application, and we're gonna check the status. Okay, well that's anticlimactic. It doesn't say anything. Okay, so let's open up the email. Email. Hi Michelle and Dr. Zogi. This is from admissions. I wanted to let you know Michelle was accepted as a PhD student in the Department of Nutrition. Dr. Johnson and Dr. Zogi will co-chair your committee. Michelle, you'll be receiving a notification from TAMU admissions office in the next couple of days. It is important to follow the instructions provided and accept the offer. Congratulations! Tammy Overby, bless you. Oh my gosh, guys. Should I go into how this all happened? I feel like I need to, now that you're like, what is going on? By the way, it smells delicious here. I've been craving jalapeños. I've been eating like a jar of jalapeños in like 4 days. It smells amazing. This is my aromatherapy. So, gosh, this is crazy. Okay, let's like rewind 2 years ago, 2020. I wanted to go back to school. I wanted to go back to school to get my master's in nutrition, and then potentially become an RD, a registered dietitian, and oh my gosh. But things work out for the better, always. I believe that 100%, and things happen the way they're supposed to. So, okay, so 2020, I wanted to go back to school, get my master's in nutrition, but I looked at how much it would cost. And let's just say that education is not cheap. It would cost like 100 grand for me to put myself through school. And I'm not about the debt life, so my plan was to save up close to that amount and then hopefully make some money while at school to pay the rest of it as I go. But that was my plan, was to save up about 100 grand, put myself through school. So I calculated that would take a while to save up, but I was gonna get there. I was determined. And decided in order to do that, I needed to drive myself into the ground. I was going to totally shift my priorities. The main one that I want to talk about was my priority of my own health and my priority to having God in my life and investing time in Him and in that. And so that's what I was doing. I was just focusing on me, kind of being a little selfish, but I mean, taking care of yourself and working towards your goals, like that's really important too. But I would say I was not living the life I wanted at that time. Like my priorities weren't aligned with how I actually wanted to live. And so my argument was, I'm just doing this now. I'm just saving up working to save up for 100 grand now, but then this is a fallacy, once I get to this 100 grand place, then I will shift my priorities, I will change the person I am, and invest time again into, you know, my health and my spiritual health, like physical health, all of the healths. But really, the paradigm shift for me was, it's never going to get any better than this. Life, it's never going to be at a destination. Once you reach that destination, then things will change, and then you'll have time, and then you have the luxury to think differently or live differently. The chance you have to live the way you want to live is now. And so I decided, you know what, I want to prioritize my health now. I want to prioritize my spiritual growth now. I want to live the life I want to live now. Why wait until this moving finish line where once I save up 100 grand, then I'll be back in school, so I might be even busier than I was then, and just the finish line keeps pushing back until 20 years pass by and you realize, what the heck, I've been living these past 20 years in a way that's not aligned for me. So once I finally decided to get my priorities straight and just decided to let God know that, you know, I'm a fallen, messed up person and sorry for getting it wrong, and I'm going to try to reset my priorities and trust Him more. It's just crazy that now this crazy opportunity popped up, and it's just a miracle, and I'm about to tell you guys what it is. It's such a miracle that I give Him the praise for it, because it's crazy. So how this whole thing came about was, I was visiting a friend in College Station. So I used to love to dance, was in a relationship where they didn't like to dance, and I honestly became very self-conscious of dancing, to where I didn't do it and didn't really enjoy it anymore because I was very overly self-aware and just self-conscious. So I decided once that was over, I wanted to visit my friend who used to be a coworker of mine who still works at the Texas A&M Rec Center, which is the gym on the A&M campus. She teaches a club dance class, which is awesome. It's like she has like lights and everything in there, loud music, we're hitting it. So I'm like, I'm definitely gonna go to that class. But in order to go to her class, I had to buy a whole gym pass and a class pass. So basically I have to walk 100 yards, well, I'm really bad with distance, but I had to walk a little ways, let's say 50 yards, across the gym and up some stairs and to her class. And in order to walk that little ways to get to the actual club dance class, I had to buy a whole gym pass and I had to buy a class pass. So being the optimist I am, I'm like, well, how can I get the most out of this? How can I make the most out of this? How can I get the most out of the situation? So I decided, well, I've been working out at home by myself, which I love, but it'd be nice to kind of change things up. And if I'm gonna have a gym pass, a whole gym pass anyways, I may as well work out at the gym and be surrounded by other people who are working out and like get that vibe. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna work out at the gym at the rec center and then I'm gonna go to her class. So that was my plan. And that's what I did. So I went to the gym and got my workout on, and it was like 5 p.m. And if y'all know gyms, y'all know 5 p.m. is popping. Like, there are people there. And so there were a lot of people there. It was pretty packed, and it was pull day for me. And I still stuck to my workout routine that I do at home. So I wasn't using like lat pull down machines, for example, but I was using a squat rack and pulling myself up on the squat rack. If you can't visualize that, just know that I'm still doing my at-home workouts, even if I'm not at home. Anyway, so I was working out, doing pull day, and I needed a bench to do chest supported bent over rows. So chest supported rows, which is, it's kind of not important. Anyway, I needed a bench. That's the important part. And so I scan around and all of the benches have a body on it, except for one bench, one lonely bench way over there had a towel on it, a measly little towel. And I decided, yeah, we're gonna move that towel because I gotta get this set on. So I go over to this bench with just a towel lying on it, and I look around, and seeing nobody, I respectfully remove the towel and I proceed to do my set there at the bench. And whenever I was halfway through my set, someone walks up, and I assume, you know, oh, it's the person whose towel this was. Hopefully they're not upset, but I'm gonna finish my set. And I was like, oh, is this your bench? He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Keep going. And he was very accommodating, very kind. And so I finished my set, and so I worked in my set with his, which just means like as he was working out, I was resting, and then whenever he was done, I would do my set, which is perfect. So I had 3 sets of bent over rows. So I did 2 more sets after that first one, and we were kind of like building a camaraderie. Like, he would push himself, and I love it whenever people push themselves. I'm like, oh, yeah, awesome job, good set. And so we were kind of building rapport that way. And then I continue on to my workout. So I was done with the bench, and I had to go off and do something else. And so I'm like, catch you later, and do the rest of my workout. But then at the end of my workout, then I run into him again, and he comes up and we start talking. And here's the thing, here's the crazy thing. I had the audacity to try to be a clear communicator, and just let him know, like, hey, by the way, like, I would love to talk. I have a class I need to get to. So would you mind maybe giving me like the 2-minute abridged version of what you're trying to say? Looking back, that is hilarious that I did that, but was just trying to be respectful of the class I was trying to go to, and trying to be respectful of him, and like, I want to listen, but there's this thing. So anyway, so I said that. He said, oh yeah, no problem. So we started talking. He said, I have never had someone take a bench like you did back there. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, that's what I do. And he's like, you just carry yourself with such confidence. Like, what do you do? What do you do for a job? I'm like, well, I'm a personal trainer. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes total sense. And I'm a nutrition coach. And he was like, well, personal trainer, nutrition coach, I could really use that in some of the research I do. I'm like, oh, I love research. I did research back in undergrad. I was a part of a nutrition research project, Ion Health Egg Study by Karen Bethard, and super cool study. I was also part of a lymphatics research with swine lymph vessels. Anyway, both super interesting, and I love research. I'm like, sweet, I would love to do that. And he's like, and okay, I'm not sure if you're looking to go back to school, but I'm the head of an engineering department, which is, he actually works with like leadership, so mindfulness and emotional intelligence. And he said, if you want to get your master's, like, that's also an option. I said, well, you know, I was thinking about going back to school. Not exactly sure how aligned your program might be, but I would love to talk about it. I'm open to listening. So we set up a Zoom call, or we exchanged contact information and later set up a Zoom call. And I proceeded to go on to this dance class, this club dance class, and popped it. My legs were dead, but needless to say, fast forward a couple days, we had our Zoom call. We were talking about research. I'm like, yes, I would love to do it. I love research. I want to be a part of this. And I want my, like, what I'm looking at is having my Hive Wellness system, like the whole program of a custom meal plan plus some health coaching along with it, like together, and have a whole body training program to help support the goals that we're hitting with the nutrition plan. I want that whole system to be science-based and research-backed, and have a firm foundation that this is a proven method. We've done research on it. like all of that. So that's what I wanted for me, and it sounded like through the, by the way, the guy's name who I took the bench from, his name is Dr. Ben Zogi. So, so I thought, you know, his research would be great for me, it'd be great for him. And then as we were talking about going back to school, what this would look like, he said, you know, as much as you want to do research, I don't see why you don't do a PhD. I'm like, I never thought I'd be doing a PhD. I was like, you know, like that is an idea for sure. However, my pocket ain't that deep. I didn't say it like that, but I was like, yeah, it's really awesome. You know, financially though, I'm not sure how viable this option is for me. And he's like, oh, like completely covered, completely funded by Texas A&M, by my department. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, I don't see why not either. And he said, yeah, you can put it towards whatever department you want. I'm like, nutrition, easy, done, nutrition, PhD in nutrition. And it was on that Zoom call that the offer was made. And I'm just sitting here like 2 years ago, I thought I had to wither away as a person to save up 100 grand to pay for a master's in nutrition. And here I am deciding to, so God isn't a genie, but deciding just to trust him and live my life how I want to live it, and not just wake up 20 years from now and wonder what was I doing. And then this just lands in my lap, and then on a phone call it just all falls into place. I'm like, what is going on? Is this real? So he made the offer, and I'm like, cool. So I apply, but honestly, I didn't even know I could apply because I look online and the application closed December 2021, which was, at this time, it was March 2022. So I'm like, well, looks like it closed, but this is the key. I decided not to take that no as an answer, and I decided to call admissions and go to College Station and set up meetings and talk to people. And turns out they actually bumped the deadline to, at this point, I had a week to apply. The application closed, I think it was like April 15th. And with like the meetings and the things, whenever I found out that the application was actually April 15th, it was like April 7th. Yeah, or 8th. So I had a week to apply. Like, okay, so for application, I need 3 letters of recommendation. So I email the professors that I want to recommend me, apply, do all the questions, submit my resume, submit my transcripts, you know, all of that I did in a matter of like 2 days, maybe 3 days. Got it in early, and ever since that application, I have not been, I basically was told, you know, you applied, you have to wait. You have to be a sitting duck and just wait. Well, that is not me. So I hope through this you see that instead of giving up your power and seeing yourself as powerless, and I did everything I can do, and I hope I'll just wish I'll be able to get in, but I'm not sure if I can. No, like, take action, do what you can, get out there, be proactive. That is what will give you the best shot at getting what you want. And sometimes the only shot of getting what you want is you got to go out there and you got to get it. So I decided, instead of applying and then just waiting to hear back, no, I'm going to meet these people. I know my transcript will not be the best in the stack. It won't be the best in the stack, but I know my work ethic. I know I've got great ideas. I'm on to things. I've already got projects and clients that I can bring to the table. It's not just academia that I have, but experience and ideas, and I'm proactive, I'm a hard worker. I know I'll outwork anybody else who's applying. So I decided I need to get in front of some people, meet some people, learn what kind of research they're doing to know where I fit in, and really come about this not acting like I don't belong here, but totally believing and acting like I'm already accepted. I belong here. What research are you doing? This is what I can contribute to your research. Talking to these professors and figuring out who I'm going to work with once I'm in. That was the mentality I had. That was coming from a place that I see this. I see myself being accepted. Like, you need me in your program. Obviously I need your program as well. I'm not coming from like a self-righteous place, but and taking action, taking aligned action, like I'm accepted, equally as dramatic. What's the word I'm looking for? Drastic. Like taking big action, like I'm already accepted. And I literally put a deposit down on an apartment in College Station. Like, normally people don't do that unless they are accepted. Like, I put a deposit down. I spent $400 putting a deposit down. Like, I put myself on the line here, going to College Station 2 times a week, meetings, everything, all the things that I could think about doing. And yeah, here we are on May 2nd, and I have my acceptance to be a PhD student in nutrition. Isn't that crazy? I have to read it again. Michelle was accepted as a PhD student in the Department of Nutrition. So, team, here's the deal. You gotta live the life that feels most aligned for you, the life you're meant to live. Don't wait until that ever moving finish line. Like, now is the best time to do it. This is as good as it's gonna get. It's not gonna be like, oh, well, later I'll have more time, or later I'll be more ready. No, like, you're as ready as you'll ever be right now. So do the thing. Yeah, so there's my announcement, and there's how it all happened. And I just praise God. This is wild. This is a miracle. It's crazy. This does not happen every day. Like, it's insane. But the thing is that this couldn't have happened before, whenever I was tied up with a franchise, a fitness franchise, honestly, that was draining me. I wasn't open to having these opportunities and possibilities when I was draining myself in a relationship. Like, you need to obviously set yourself up to be open to receiving these amazing things. And these opportunities are all around us. We just don't see them. We're not open to seeing them a lot of the time. So take the action that you've been wanting to take, and things will work out. And here's the thing. I put that deposit down not knowing, actually. I mean, I felt like I was confident that I'd get accepted, but in reality, I didn't know I'd be accepted. So how I've decided to live my life is I'm going to take this drastic action. I'm going to move forward with things and with confidence, instead of asking them, hey, are you going to accept me? Or if you ask a question that way, then their mind will directly go to, I'm not sure if we'll accept you. We'll get back to you. And the thought of not accepting you enters their mind. But if you enter in, you take that drastic action and you walk in, hey, when you accept me, what's the next step I should take? Then they're already subconsciously in their mind thinking, picturing you in their program. So, but anyway, I like to approach things that way. But for whatever reason, if it doesn't work out, I trust myself, and I trust the process to where, again, things will all work out. I trust myself to be strong enough to handle the failure. I'll be able to learn something. I'll be able to grow in some kind of way that I otherwise wouldn't have if I wouldn't have put myself out there. So I believe in taking that drastic action, believing and seeing the vision for yourself before it ever plays out. And most of the time, it'll work out better that way than if you were bracing for failure and holding back for fear of failure. Go out there, put yourself out there, and if it doesn't work out, it will work out. If it doesn't go the way you hoped it will eventually work out all for the best. So, there's my little thing for you. Gosh, this is insane. This is crazy. Okay, so that is the announcement. So let's now move forward with my check-in. So before this, I was a little low energy, so let's talk about it. I am eating a little less than 2,100 calories. My macros just changed, and I haven't looked at the calories, but my macros are 180, and macros is short for macronutrients. They're the big nutrients, are the ones that give you calories, so namely protein, carbs, and fats was what I'm talking about. So protein, I have 180 grams a day. Carbs, I have 230 grams a day. And then fats, I have 45 grams a day. And how I track those is super easy on my app. It's amazing. I just upload the recipes that I want to eat. So for breakfast, I'm eating a parfait. And then for like a mid-morning snack, I have an egg and some avocado for some great fat to keep me satiated. For lunch, I am loving, it used to be lettuce, turkey lettuce wraps. But now the lettuce shells are more expensive than the shredded lettuce. So I've been making them like turkey bowls where I have like lettuce and turkey, tomatoes, feta cheese, loving leeks on top, and I always have my bag of red pepper flakes candy. I'm running low, however, I do have more dehydrated cayenne peppers in my pantry that my client Amber gave me. She grows these cayenne peppers, she dehydrates them and gives them to me because I'm obsessed with red pepper flakes. My eyes got really wide there. I'm obsessed with red pepper flakes. So thanks, Amber. That's my lunch. And then I work out an hour after lunch. During my workout, right before my workout, I have 2 dates. During my workout, I have 50 grams of honey, which is a lot of honey. I love honey. And hence Hive Wellness, that was actually part of the inspiration. I have a video on my Instagram and on Facebook about why Hive Wellness. If you have those, look it up. I'm Hive Wellness by Michelle on both Instagram and Facebook. But I love honey. And then after my workout, I have a protein shake, which I used to not do. I used to just have my protein be from like yogurt and meats. And obviously there's a little bit in vegetables, but I really love my protein shake. It's amazing. I'm about to release the recipe, so stay tuned for that. But I have my protein shake, and then I have, chocolate pudding. Love that, love that. And then for dinner, I have a beef patty and asparagus. So that's my day of eating, in case you're wondering. And that's about 2,100 calories. So that's my diet. Now, where am I at? My nails are growing out, and it's really fun. So where am I at body-wise? I am at around 10.9% body fat, and that is the leanest officially I have ever been. The leanest I've been before this was 11.9, so I am like 1% lower in fat than I ever have been, which is so exciting. So I'm the leanest I've ever been. I'm still posing twice a day, and let's see, yesterday I had the best run through of my posing. I'm finally getting it. It's taken me so long. Guys, should I show y'all my very first poses? They're embarrassing. Like, she's cute, like, I respect her, she's come a long way, go girl, but those poses are rough. Yeah. So you might be seeing those. I'm not sure. I've only shown my closest people because it's cringe. It is so bad. Like one of my arms, I just look so stiff and not like relaxed. But I've come a long way, and really posing every day and now posing twice a day has made a huge difference, and looking at the pros and how they do it and just practicing, seeing what I like, working with my posing coach, with Rachel, that's been amazing. Super fun. I've had 2 sessions with her, but those have really helped. 2 sessions doesn't sound like a lot, but they have really helped. So super fun. I'm also editing one of our posing sessions, so if you're interested in looking at that, I'll have a video up. I want to keep those separate because I know that some people here are interested in more like the fitness content and hearing my journey, but not necessarily seeing like all of that skin. So I'll try to keep those separate. So that'll be coming up. What else am I doing? I'm still working out. PRs are great. So I'm able to at least maintain my gym performance, and in some ways make it even better, even though I'm losing fat. So right now I'm at 140 pounds. And just to be like open and honest with y'all, this is the very first week that my body is kind of starting to be irregular, like menstrual wise. So just know, like, you can go after your physique goals without really running into many issues until you get to like the last couple weeks of prep. And if you're just looking to be healthy and like feel good in your skin, women can typically get down to 14% body fat, look chiseled as hell, look all toned and cute and cut and all that, and be just fine. But now that I am 10.9, around there percent body fat, that is where your body starts to kind of like get confused, like, what are we doing hormonal wise? Some people can start to lose their hair. I have a lot of hair, so I'm not too concerned about it, but my hair isn't like falling out, and it's still looking bouncy. I'm using Prose, by the way. Prose, like shampoo and conditioner. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Prose literally has changed my hair. It is so soft. I'm really loving it. So that's great. So that's what I'm doing. There's my diet. My morning routine is still the same, with eating that parfait breakfast, doing my vacuums. I want to start maybe whitening my teeth in the evening, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, so loving that. Love my morning routine. Honestly, didn't do it this morning with picking up my dad from the airport. My dad is back from Ukraine, which is amazing. So stayed up till like 1 o'clock getting him from the airport and getting home and getting ready for bed and all that. And then last night we had a family meeting about his trip, and so I stayed up again until like 1:30. So I did not do my morning routine this morning, but don't worry, I will do my vacuums today. And I will still pose 2 times today. So still hitting all the things, still getting my steps in, still doing the cycling on Saturdays now. It was raining, but it felt so good. It was raining. I'm like, oh, I'm so dedicated. I'm doing this in the rain. Just felt super hardcore, and I loved it. Especially whenever you're biking, you go arrow and you go down like this. I really like it. So still cycling once a week, still like 40 to 45 minutes. I hit the 42-minute mark again at 11 miles. So that was awesome. I'm about to go for a walk to get my steps in. I'm around 60,000 a week. So everything is looking on track. My bikini will be here, will arrive, will be shipped and arrived by this Thursday. So I'm so stoked to get my bikini in. And then I'll try it out and maybe post some pictures on Instagram on my story. So you should check out my story on Instagram. Hive Wellness by Michelle is my little tag. And that, my friends, is what's going on. That is the check-in. That is the thing. Another little announcement is I am in the runnings to becoming Miss Health and Fitness 2022, and you can vote for me. So Below is a link to vote for me. If you have any questions about it, let me know. But it would super help if you voted. If I am wanting to manifest this, that the winner of this competition, I'm not exactly sure how the competition goes, but we're voting for top 15. Not exactly sure what happens after that, but I am still in first. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to your votes. But the winner will be on the cover of Hers magazine, which would be amazing. And they'll also get a cash prize. Well, is it cash prize? They'll get some kind of money prize, is what I know. So please vote for me. That'd be amazing. That would help cover my expenses whenever I'm getting my PhD at A&M. Now that's official. So vote for me. The link's below. You need a Facebook to vote, by the way. So if you don't have a Facebook, maybe you can share with your Facebook friends. And that covers our check-in. So I was accepted to the PhD program in the runnings to be Miss Health and Fitness 2022. And your vote mean a lot to me. And things are still going strong for my bikini bodybuilding competition May 28th in Dallas. The Kuklo Classic, which is super hard for me to say, but I think that was the first time I nailed it without having to re-say it on the first try. So still on track for the Kuklo Classic. Wow, I did it again. So things are going swimmingly. Thank you guys for checking in with me. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to book a free 15, which is where you ask your fitness questions, we have a 15-minute live call, whether here on YouTube, which would be amazing, so that other people can hop on with their questions and learn from your question in our discussion, or it can also be on the gram, where we just talk about what your current situation is, what your questions are, and how to get started on your fitness journey. What's the first step? What's the biggest needle mover? The action plan that you can start right now to move one step closer towards your goals. So you can set up your free 15 call. I've got the link. I'll put the link below as well. So I'm here for you guys. Let's do this journey together. And I look forward to talking to y'all next week whenever I'm 3 weeks out. Oh my gosh, it's happening so fast. All right. See you guys. Bye.